r/AskReddit by Laugh with Mims. Who is the most overrated person in history? Waldo. Why should anyone even care to search for him? He's done nothing. The fact that he's always hiding is probably because he's done something wrong. Plus that only has one shirt. Till Waldo is just a wandering homeless man. Douglas MacArthur was obsessed with his legacy while being a far less capable leader than many of the other overlooked commanders in the Pacific Theater. He spent thousands of lives in battles on islands that had little strategic significance, declared the battle for the Philippines over while intense fighting raged on, and was disliked by many serving under him. Go listen to /read Maximum Hastings Retribution, the battle for Japan for a great deep dive into the Pacific War edit, added over. My grandpa had a story about MacArthur. He didn't like him very much. So grandpa was stationed somewhere in the Philippines and MacArthur was scheduled to spend an extended visit at their base. Now, MacArthur traveled everywhere with a full-size refrigerator, apparently. Have you ever tried to lift a 1940s refrigerator? They are heavy as shit. So grandpa's platoon gets assigned to fridge duty. They haul it off the boat and up this giant hill where MacArthur was to be staying. No sooner do they get it up the hill than they get word that there's a possible air raid incoming and the general needs to be evacuated to a facility at the bottom of the hill. And where MacArthur goes, so goes his fridge. Back down the hill they go. But then the air raid is a false alarm and MacArthur goes back up the hill. Back up the hill they go. According to grandpa, this happened a good 3 to 4 times during this one visit. So when MacArthur made that famous speech about I shall return to the Philippines, grandpa's response was, I sure as hell hope not. Sir. There's an air raid. What would you like us to do? First things first, I need my fridge. Henry VIII. Let's be honest, all he did was strong-arm the church so he could marry another woman, the fat greedy sod. Do people consider him a good king? A lot of people know about him because he's the most recognizable British monarch aside from the Queen due to his penchant for divorce and splitting Catholicism, again, but I never got the impression that people idolized him or anything. They say Henry VII spent his entire reign making the crown rich, only for Henry VIII to come along and spend it. GRRM used him as a basis for Robert Baratheon too. This alone makes him not overrated. Bobby B is a legend. Iranus Metaxas. He was the leader of Greece from 1936 to 1941. Most famous for not surrendering to fascist Italy during WW2. The only problem is that Metaxas was a fascist dictator himself. Yes, but he was our fascist dictator. One of us. Lajos Kossuth. He's a Hungarian history figure who lived 1802-1894, but most notably he declared himself as governor-president of the Kingdom of Hungary during the 1848-49 revolution. For those of you who are not really familiar with Hungarian history, the short version is, we were by everyone and never had independence since the early 1300s. This time we had beef with the Habsburgs. We really wanted independence, have Hungarian as the official language and the liberation of the serfdom. Sounds cool. Before the revolution, the two most outstanding political figures were Kossuth and Count Istvan Széchenyi. He's actually a really cool dude, and I think he deserved the title the greatest Hungarian. They both wanted the same things, but Kossuth wanted everything as soon as possible, while Széchenyi understood that change takes time. So of course they didn't like each other. With some other factors, Kossuth ended up bullying Széchenyi out of politics. I give Kossuth the credit for being smart and charismatic, who could motivate people with his speeches, so one time he basically started a rally amongst common folk because other politicians told him that discrowning the king was a bad effing idea. But because of the massive amount of people surrounding them, they couldn't really say no. So they did discrown the king. During the revolution we sucked ass. Not getting into details, we had more downs than ups. Also some minorities revolted against Kossuth, who would not give them any rights. Enter one of my favorite historical figure, Artur Guthrie. He was the greatest general in this whole scene, and finally he has his own exhibition. He actually won against some Austrian army corps. Kossuth hated him most likely because he feared his power and did every ring to remove him from charge. But the Austrian king, Ferdinand V, asked the Russian emperor, Nicholas I, for help. So, Hungary is a small country with a small population. Russia on the other hand, you see where this is going. Guthrie wanted to go west and destroy the Austrian army before the Russians arrive. Otherwise we are Sounds great. Not for Kossuth. He wanted to wait until the two armies merge in the east, because if they lose, he can emigrate to Turkey. The latter happened, and Kossuth as his last fucking move, stepped back from being governor-president and appointed Guthrie. A few days later on August 13, it was clear that Hungary had lost. In a hopeless situation, Guthrie signed a surrender at Villegas. Kossuth emigrated to Turkey, but tried to control everything from afar. Writing the Cassandra letter that if we make peace with the Austrians Hungary will no longer exist. Which was our industry and agriculture blossomed after. As a really great university professor once said, Kossuth threw a big rock up in the air and pushed Guthrie under it. Basically he threw him under the bus. What baffles me about this absolutely garbage of a person that he has the biggest mausoleum in all of Hungary. It's made out of gold, marble and all that jazz. You know what Guthrie has? A refined black iron cross. God, I hate him so much. BTW, he died in Italy and he still has a huge following because he was so great that every fucking town has to have at least one road named after him. I love this. I don't need drunk history, I need angry ranting history. Thanks for the education and entertainment. Little of column A, lots of column D, means a major uptick in column A profit. If you like this, look up Mike Duncan's Revolutions podcast and find the segment on the revolutions of 1848. I think that's the right year, and he goes in depth about this. Guy Fawkes. He was a minor cog in a conspiracy that he didn't even know all that much about. He was tasked with a dead simple objective, and he failed. He gave up the names of all the co-conspirators that he knew about, but most of them operated on a much higher level than this chump, so they got off mostly scot-free. He had one job and he free, basically. He doesn't deserve the pages that his story is written on in history books. The HBO miniseries Gunpowder puts forward a very realistic representation of Guy Fawkes' MO. Recommend for anyone with 4 hours to kill. Guy Fawkes Night. I still can't work out if most people are celebrating his attempt or his failure. It's catchier than its original name, Gunpowder Treason Day, which sounds more like a suggestion than commemoration. Gunpowder Treason Day sounds like what Brits call our Independence Day. Don't be silly. We don't recognize you temporary rebellion as independence. Make America Great Britain Again edit. Thanks for the gold. 3. I'm not sure they are ready for this shit. Coco Channel. I had recently only just found out she was a confirmed Nazi agent who went under the code name Westminster. She spent most of WW2 in Paris in the Ritz sleeping with Nazi officers and had direct contact to Himmler and Goebbels. She even insisted all Jewish directors of her brand be removed. Edit. I can't spell. Haha, I searched Coco Channel on Google. One of the top results was her life and pictures. Super weird that it totally blanks out anything around 1930 to 1950. I'm gonna have to go with Hitler. His paintings really weren't that great. Hitler could have become a great flower painter, but he chose the easy path. Ken, am right you are, Ken. Remember, sort by controversial for the real answers. Edit. Since a lot of people are commenting this, it wasn't just Keanu, Obama, Trump, and Jesus when I originally made the comment, but they were there. Edit. Coincidentally, I think those are also the answer to who do you think will make an appearance in the next Bill and Ted movie. This thread was wholesome and educational, until I did this. Erwin Skradina, he is both overrated and underrated simultaneously. He was actually a critic of the Copenhagen interpretation of quantum mechanics, and the Schrodinger's cat thought experiment was supposed to be a derisive critique of it. He would be absolutely appalled to learn that that's what he's famous for, and people completely forget his very significant contributions to physics. He pretty much invented wave mechanics. As for Heisenberg, I'm still uncertain. I'd say Einstein is relatively fairly rated. My sister, I do stuff too, mom. I feel this in my soul. Me too, I don't even have siblings. Pythagoras. He didn't make a caret 2 plus b caret 2 equals c caret 2 at his own. One of the students did. He made it better and proved it. Edit. Grammar. How could you make that any better? Did his student misspell one of the letters or something? Jack the Ripper. More overhyped, not overrated. But he only killed 5 people. It's not like he's the original Dexter. Have you seen the pictures of his victims' bodies? It makes sense he became so notorious. Most people at that time probably would never have seen such mutilation even in war. Please like and subscribe for more. This is Laugh with Mims. Goodbye.